Alright guys, I am back with my review of American Horror Story Coven, Episode 10, The Magical Delights of Stevie Nicks. And Marie is awakened in her room by a voodoo witch doctor, and she owes this guy something. We don't know what it is yet. But Marie goes to a local hospital and kidnaps a baby, and as she's leaving, two security guards try to stop her, and her eyes roll back and she's like, oh, and the security guards shoot each other. So it was kind of silly. And the next day, Fiona, Cordelia, and Marie are talking, and Marie confesses that she's the one who hired Hank, the witch hunter. And Fiona gets pissed off and slaps Cordelia for being dumb enough to fall for Hank in the first place. And then she says that they need to stop worrying about worker bees and go after the hive. I don't understand how a handful of witches and a voodoo priestess plan to take down a corporation of witch hunters that has existed for hundreds of years and is obviously very well organized. Fiona is talking to Misty and wants to introduce her to a friend of hers, a white witch, and it's Stevie Nicks. So of course, Misty, meeting her idol, she faints, but then she wakes up and Stevie Nicks sings a song. Madison, Zoe, and Nan show up, and Madison is clearly jealous. And later on, she's talking to Zoe, and Madison still thinks she's the Supreme. And Zoe says, well, you can't be, you have a heart murmur. And Madison says, well, ever since I was brought back to life, I don't have a heart murmur anymore, so maybe this was all meant to happen so that I could fulfill my destiny of becoming the Supreme. So now she wants to challenge Misty to the 7 wonders. We see the witches reading up on the corporation and Hank's father, who happens to be one of the richest men in the world. And they devise a plan to build this maze and put some rats inside. And the rats represent people within the corporation. So we see these people being controlled. I guess this is phase 1 of their plan. And my question about all of this is, why now? The witch hunters have been killing witches forever. So why are they attacking this huge corporation now? I mean, Marie was the one who was attacked and had all her people killed. You could understand why she would be furious and want to go after them. But Fiona and Cordelia, they knew about the witch hunters and they never cared enough to go after the corporation before. So now all of a sudden Marie gets attacked, their enemy, and they decide, okay, now it's time to take on this huge billion-dollar corporation. Not to mention, it doesn't look like it's going to be all that difficult. So why did they wait so long? Just seems like the timing's really off for all of this. Nan and Zoe are going to the hospital to visit Luke. And on the way up in the elevator, they're talking, and Nan says, you know, if I was the Supreme, I would only do good. And Zoe says, I believe that. You don't have a mean bone in your body. Just a couple scenes ago, she was trying to make Madison put a cigarette into her vagina. Nan was trying to do this. And then Zoe says she doesn't have a mean bone in her body. I just thought that was really funny. So Nan finds out that Luke died. And she's upset about this, and she says, I didn't get to say goodbye. But can't she talk to ghosts? I thought that was like one of her powers. So technically she could still talk to Luke. But then we see Marie talking to Fiona, and Fiona says, look, I'm going to die soon. How are you immortal? Whatever you took, give it to me. And Marie tells her the story about how she sold her soul to Papa Legbo, or whatever his name is. And she was a really powerful voodoo priestess, and she wanted to be immortal. And he would come once a year to get what was owed to him. And she said she thought he meant sexual favors. Talk about having a high opinion of yourself. But what he really wanted was a baby, an innocent soul. So Marie gets pregnant and has a baby, and Papa Legbo comes and takes it. And that's what she tells Fiona, and that was the end of it. So I don't know if Fiona's going to try to conjure up Papa Legbo or what. Madison sets a trap for Misty. She hits her in the head with a brick, and then locks her in a casket. So I don't understand the purpose behind this. If Misty's the Supreme, then surely that's not going to kill her, and if Madison truly believes she is the Supreme, then why does she even need to kill Misty in the first place? So Nan and Zoe go to Luke's mother's house. They want to find out where Luke's body is so that they can bring him back to life. And Luke's mother has had him cremated. So Nan gets pissed off. She uses her mind-reading powers to find out that Luke's mother killed him, and she makes his mother drink bleach. So yeah, back to that not a mean bone in your body thing. The corporation is in an uproar because they're losing all this money. Then we see Fiona, who lays out some cocaine to summon Papa Legba. He's like Santa Claus, but with cocaine. And he shows up and she wants to make a deal. She's willing to sell him her soul. And he says that he's going to come once a year. And she has to be willing to kill someone she loves, like her daughter. And Fiona agrees to this. She's willing to kill Cordelia to live forever. What a pathetic loser she is. So Papa Legba gets ready to make the deal. And he says, "Deal's off. You have no soul." And then he disappears. This was awesome. So then the Axeman shows up, and he's like, "Look, it's okay. All we have to do is find out who's going to be the next Supreme and kill them." And Fiona says, "Well, I have no soul, so I'm just going to kill them all." Nan hears a baby crying, and she goes and finds the baby that Marie kidnapped. And Marie comes in, and she says, "Give me back the baby." And Nan says, "I'm going to be the next Supreme, and if you try to take this baby, I'll kill you." And then Fiona comes in and makes Nan give her the baby back, and Nan leaves. And Marie says that Nan told her she was going to be the next Supreme, and she's trouble. And Fiona says, "Yeah, she is trouble, but what's the baby for anyway?" And Marie says, "For Papa Legba. He has to have an innocent soul." So Fiona thinks about this, and she's like, "Well, maybe we can kill two birds with one stone." So they kill Nan. This was really funny too. I think it was supposed to be funny because they drown her in the bathtub, and then Papa Legba shows up and says, "Look, you can't substitute souls. I need an innocent soul." And Fiona says, "Well, she's mostly innocent. She only killed the neighbor woman, but she had it coming." So it was really funny, and he eventually agrees. So he takes Nan's soul. She leaves with Papa Legba. I don't even want to know what he does with these souls. And the last thing that happens is Stevie Nicks sings another song. And that was the end of the episode. So overall, I thought this was a pretty average episode. I like Papa Legba. He's awesome. I really like that character. But everything else with Nan and Luke's mother, that whole storyline, it wasn't really entertaining for me. I guess because I never really cared about the storyline to begin with. But they did kill Nan off, and you know she's not the next Supreme, so Fiona's still going to be dying. And I guess Marie got off because she got the soul she needed, so she's okay. But you have to think about all the people Marie's killed over the years. Not just the babies she takes to Papa Legba, but the people she kills to get the babies, like the two innocent security guards she killed in this episode. Like, she's just killed a ton of people because I think she said she's been alive for like 300 years. And if he comes every year, holy crap. But anyways, that's my review. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this episode in the comments, and thanks for watching.